Good morning, everyone. In this video, we're going to talk about indices. The question we have here reads, solve the equation 7 power 2x minus 8 times 7 power x plus 7 is equal to 0. Before we continue, let us look at this law of indices. If you're given a power m n, this should be equivalent to a power m raised to n, which can also be written as a power, so n comes first, a power n raised to m, and m now goes out. So this, applying this law to the first part of this equation, we have 7 power 2x. 7 power 2x can also be written as 7 power x, and then 2 goes out. And then for the second term, we have 8 into 7 power x plus 7 is equal to 0. Now, I'm doing this for the sake of substitution. So at this point, we can let 7 power x to be, let us say t. So let 7 power x be t. Therefore, substituting in this equation, we're going to have t squared for the first part minus 8t second part plus 7 is equal to 0. From here, we now factorize the left hand side. So we can apply factorization. You can also use quadratic formula to solve this quadratic equation, or completing the square method. So I've resorted to factorization. So we're going to factorize the left hand side by looking at two numbers such that their product is 7. So 7 I've determined by having the coefficient of t squared multiplied by 7. So here we have 1 times 7, which is 7. And then their sum should be coefficient of t, which is negative 8. Now the two numbers, or the two factors, are negative 7 and negative 1. Multiply them, you get 7, add them, you get negative 8. So long as you're equating to 0, we can just go straight to this. So we have two brackets, and then in the first bracket, write t, and the same for the second bracket, write t. And then in the remaining space, we just insert negative 7 and negative 1. So negative 7 and negative 1. And then we equate to the right hand side, which is 0. So when this is expanded, it gets back to this quadratic expression. So this means for the first bracket, t minus 7, and because we're equating to 0, we can equate it to 0. And therefore, t in this case is 7. The same thing applies for the second bracket. T is equal to 1. That is, t minus 1 is equal to 0, and therefore t becomes 1. If t is 7 and t is 1, remember earlier on we'd let 7 power x to be t, and therefore we can bring that back here. T is 7 and t is 7 power x. So this can be equated to 7. And remember, 7 is just 7 power 1. When you get to this level where the bases are equal and we're equating, then we can equally equate the powers. So we have x is equal to 1. So that is the first value of x. The second value, again, t is 7 power x. So 7 power x is equal to the right hand side, which is 1. We can express 1 as the base 7 raised to something, and that is 7 raised to 0. So a number raised to 0 is 1. So just want the base to be similar to the base of this expression here. So we are going to have 7 power x is equal to 7 power 0. So at this level again, we can say x is equal to 0. So the values of x are x is equal to 1 or x is equal to 0. With this, we mark the end of the solution to this problem. Thank you for watching. Bye.